The Phil Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. There is a Million Mom March that is being scheduled for Washington, D.C. for Mother's Day. The Million Mom March is a march of mothers against weapons, guns, the proliferation of guns in our society. Pastor William Rennick has joined with others in calling for a reevaluation of this, and we have him on the line with us live this afternoon from Bellflower. And Pastor Rennick, you're urging that they sort of step down or step back from this a little bit?
What we're saying, actually, the term I used was step off, because the Million Man March was an organized concept born of the originality of African American. And the new Million Man March, which was created by Louis Farrakhan, was an original concept to empower the black man and black fathers and husbands to do better with their families and to try to bring about a change in the low-life condition of African Americans. You have to understand that for some 500 years we have battled not only the oppression of an economic and social political system that kept us down, but also we have tried to have a better self-image of ourselves.
Yeah, but to interrupt you just a moment, what's wrong with the Million Mom March?
Well, the Million Mom. Let me first by say that the Million Man March was an organized concept of the original thinking of African Americans: jazz, rock and roll, modern dance, the traffic light, open heart surgery, the 3-cycle engine. All of these were the ideas of a black man. Now the Million Man March, which was an original idea conceived and executed by Reverend Louis Farrakhan, the Million Man March empowered black men.
But again, the Million Mom March is what? Is it?
Well, what troubles me, Phil, about the Million Mom March is that here are white women repeating the cycle of history by stealing a black man's ideas. White women have been stealing black men's ideas for years, and this is inherent in what we see in history with jazz, rock and roll, and
so you're looking upon this.
Excuse me, but just modern dance. All of these are introduced initially to white culture by white women.
All right, so your main grievance with the Million Mom March is that it is not an original idea.
More than not being an original idea, it's an idea that was stolen from the black man by a white woman.
All right, we're talking historically now, right?
We are speaking historically. And when you talk about the stratification of the races and interracial marriage and interracial coupling, this is at the root of this. And
well, all right, okay, so I got to tell you something, Reverend. I had a black girlfriend for about 3 years of my life before I met my wife, Maria. She was I never had the feeling that I wanted to steal ideas from her.
I'm not talking about white men stealing from black women. I'm talking about something very specific: white women stealing their ideas from black men. Let me go back again to what I mentioned: jazz, rock and roll, modern dance, the permanent.
As in the hairdo.
As in the permanent hairdo. These were all introduced initially to white culture by white women. Now, there is a list on hand at the Smithsonian Institute where white women are given some credit for the invention or the carrying over of jazz. Betty Warwick, Jane Daly, Mary Sweeney, Sally Onis, Doris Crane, who was a nurse. These women were responsible for bringing many ideas in the mainstream white culture that were originated by black men.
Such as? I mean, you're talking about now taking the ideas. For instance, I know about jazz, rock and roll, modern dance, the traffic light, open heart surgery. I know those as having been the inventions of African Americans.
But you're unique, Phil, because most white people think that those things were invented by white men.
Because
white women had introduced them to white society. And that's what I think, number one, our concern is with the Million Mom March, is that people will forget that Louis Farrakhan had this idea originally. That's why a Callout 2000 is being done.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Callout 2000. We're speaking with the Reverend William Rennick. from Bellflower, California, and he were talking about the Million Mom March and his concern and the concern of some other educators and clerics that the Million Mom March is simply a lot of white women stealing Louis Farrakhan's idea of the Million Man March. The Million Mom March, as you know, is going to be taking place on Mother's Day. Our number is 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. Tell me, Reverend, about Callout 2000.
Callout 2000 is a focus. It's not a focus group, but it is a research project that involves calling millions of American homes over the next 7 days and asking the question, have you ever heard of the Million Mom March? In which case they would say yes or no, and if they say yes, we remind them that the Million Mom March was not their idea, it was a black man's idea, the Million Man March. And so,
all right, so Callout 2000 is to call up a bunch of people.
Not just a bunch of people, but people from across the country, as many Americans as we can, let them know that these white women are stealing a black man's ideas. Why don't they get their own material? And so
why don't they get their own material? Now, let me ask you. You said that white women have stolen black men's ideas, and in your pamphlet, you mention every great idea that has come to America by virtue of a white woman. She had been sleeping with a black man.
That's correct.
That is a very, very harsh. I mean,
that is absolutely correct.
Every great idea that has come to America by virtue of a white woman sleeping with a black man, stealing his ideas, then going home and telling her husband about that. And you wrote that in May of 1999.
That is correct.
How do you justify that?
By virtue of the fact, Betty Warwick, who introduced jazz to mainstream white culture, she had heard a Fats Waller record. She went and turned on Paul Whiteman, who was a swing jazz white man. And
was she sleeping with Fats Waller?
She had slept with a jazz pianist, a black jazz man, went on to her husband and said, you got to check this out. And my understanding is that many of these white women are encouraged to sleep with black men just so they can get ideas.
So they can be, the white women are encouraged to sleep with black men
so that they can get the ideas of a black man and eventually bring them over into white culture. And by virtue of white women sleeping with black men, stealing his ideas and going home and telling her husband about it, that's why Sally Onis stole the idea of open heart surgery.
Because what? She'd been sleeping with the. Now we know it was a black surgeon who was the first to perform open heart surgery.
That is correct.
Did she sleep with that gentleman?
No, she did not. She slept with a member of the surgical team who was a black anesthetologist, and then went home and told her white husband, who was a cardiologist. And she said, you got to check this out. I just saw it. This is amazing.
Uh-huh.
And she said, check it out. This guy was doing surgery on a man's heart, even though his chest was open. She told the white man went and stole the idea.
Reverend, are you an extremist?
No, sir, I do not consider myself an extremist. I consider myself a nationalist. I consider myself an American.
But you're an extremist, aren't you, sir? That with the statement, every great idea that has come to America, a white woman has stolen it from a black man by sleeping with him?
I do not consider myself an extremist at all, no, sir.
All right, here's Chino Hills on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Phil. I would like to know if there are any black moms marching on Sunday. Or is it all white, 100%?
All white women.
There's not one black mother marching on Sunday?
I don't know if there are black mothers marching on Sunday, but the idea of the Million Mom March was a white woman.
This is just
white women marching in Washington, D.C. after 4 years ago making fun of and putting down Reverend Louis Farrakhan for the Million Man March.
Excuse me, but what does this have to do with racism? These are moms that are marching for the good of society and the good of our children. What does this have to do with racism?
Why do they have to steal another black man's idea?
By using the word million?
I'm sorry?
By using the word million, that's stealing his idea?
Million Mom March, Million Man March. I see a plagiarism there. Yes, ma'am.
What does this have to do with racism, though? I don't understand.
I never used the word racism. What I did say, though, is that white women have never come up with an original idea in their lives.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
For you to say that white women come up with all of their ideas by sleeping with black men.
That is appalling.
And going home and telling their white husbands about it.
Well, but everything you mention here, that the woman who introduced, it was a woman who slept with a black guy and told her white husband about open-heart surgery.
That's right. Well, you know something? I have pride in knowing it was a black man that performed the first open-heart surgery. And
Sir, I know that, and I think a lot of school kids know that. I know that. I have that information. No white woman had to tell me about it, okay?
but it was back in those days, back in the day, a white woman did.
Who's the first white guy to perform open-heart surgery?
That's South African.
What's that guy's name? Christian?
I forget, but...
So his white wife slept with a black guy?
Most probably, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for your call, ma'am. Here is San Bernardino on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello. San Bernardino, hello.
Oh, hello.
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Thank you for taking my call. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that gentleman about this million mother march, because I think that after all, that people are entitled to their own opinion, and I don't think...
Why do white women have to sleep with black men and get their ideas
No,
from them?
I do not agree with you, sir.
Well,
I think that is crazy.
Well, ma'am, I know.
I know too many scientists, and I know that there was no white woman sleeping with it.
Do you know the name Doris Crane?
No, I'm not familiar with
Doris Crane slept with the black man who invented the traffic light. She went home and told her husband about it. Now I better think a white man came up with that idea.
Well, how can you say that all good ideas came from white women sleeping with black men?
Because
that's a bunch of malarkey.
Ma'am, I have history on my side. I also have the evidence of history on my side.
Because a woman
really?
named Doris Crane slept with a guy who invented the traffic light.
That is correct.
Let me ask you a question, sir. Who was, when you talk about this with regard to the heart surgery, I suppose you think that some white woman slept with a black man to do the open heart surgery with the heart of a baboon.
Yes, that is
You're
that
crazy.
Is correct. No,
You're
ma'am,
crazier.
Because the first
You're crazier than heck, because I was secretary to that doctor.
Well, ma'am, you're crazier than heck too. Because
Now, hold on.
His wife
wait a minute.
did not sleep with any
Ma'am, you were
black
the secretary?
man to get the idea.
You were the secretary to this guy?
Yes, I certainly
All right,
was.
can you hold the line, because we'd like to speak with you further on this.
Okay.
1-800-449-8686. We have Pastor William Rennick with us, who doesn't like the idea of the Million Mom March coming up on Sunday, Mother's Day, because it's a ripoff of the Million Man March. And he feels that most good ideas that have come into white culture have been stolen by white women sleeping with black men. Now, the open baboon heart thing, I don't know about, but she claims, or William Rennick claims, that white women slept with black guys to figure out open heart surgery. So there's a lot going on here. We'll be right back. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show. Pastor William Rennick from Bellflower is with us. Pastor, you are aligned with Joyful Union Congregation in Bellflower?
That's correct, yes.
And that is a Pentecostal?
We are Pentecostal faith, yes.
Are you a black nationalist? Are you a Muslim?
No, sir, I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a racist. I am a historian. I believe in the impetus of history.
All right. Pastor Rennick believes that the Million Mom March is a lifting of an idea that Louis Farrakhan had years earlier with the Million Man March, that white women steal the best ideas from black men and then give them to white men, correct?
That seems to be the train of history. Yes, I am not saying that white people don't have original ideas. I'm just saying that white people ought to come up with an idea of their own every now and again and quit sending their women out to sleep with black men to get our ideas like the 3-cycle engine and toothpaste. Because
all right, so there's another one. You're saying that a white woman slept with a black guy and stole the idea of toothpaste.
Toothpaste in the aluminum, in the roll-up...
tube toothpaste?
Yes, sir. Not the idea of but tube toothpaste. Stolen by a white woman from a black man while they were sleeping together.
And given to a white man?
Given to a husband, yes.
All right, now the lady in San Bernardino, I wanted to get clear here. You were the secretary, ma'am, for which doctor?
Well, I wasn't going to mention his.
Well, you don't have to say his name, but you were involved somehow in the revolutionary transplantation of the baboon heart.
I was secretary to him for quite some time until they built the surgery library.
Now let me ask you a question.
I became the surgery
Let me ask the lady
librarian.
a question.
Just let me
I
finish.
got to ask you a question. Did you sleep with a black man?
You're crazier than holy I don't know what. I happen to know the wife of this doctor very well, and for you to say anything like that is the most appalling, insulting, sickening,
the lady's answer is no.
I've ever heard in my life.
The lady's answer is no, Pastor.
I simply asked if she got the idea for baboon transplantation from a black doctor.
No. No way in heck.
You had never slept with a black man.
She answered that question.
How sickening, how revolting. I can't think of anything more repulsive than that.
Than sleeping with a black man?
That's right.
I can think of a lot more repulsive things.
Oh, good grief.
Like a short-dick Irishman.
Okay, now that's not necessary, Reverend.
Well,
you know what? Phil,
you're a racist, lady.
Phil,
you're a racist.
Phil,
you're a racist.
Phil,
you're a racist.
Phil,
you're racist.
Phil,
racist.
Phil,
racist.
Phil, may
okay,
I say
yes,
something?
I'm right here.
There is a place several miles out on Highland Avenue that I'm sure
has a nut house.
A vacant bed for him. It's called Patton.
You are laughing at me, and you know something, man? The black man is used to be laughed at. We've been laughed at for 500 years, but I will tell you something right now.
Why don't you come out here to Patton?
The baboon
you belong
heart.
there.
You think I'm nuts, but
you belong in Patton.
You like jazz?
You
like jazz?
I prefer opera, thank you.
You like rock and roll?
I said I prefer opera.
But you shake your ass to rock and roll, don't you?
I said I prefer opera.
I'll bet you anything you
I
dance.
said I prefer opera. End of conversation.
You drive?
If you don't mind,
traffic lights.
you are... Phil,
no, I'm not crazy, man.
Phil,
I know you slept with you. There's a black man you slept with, and I know.
Yes, ma'am, I'm right here.
Will you cut him or me
Be quiet.
off because he is making my stomach turn.
All right, ma'am, I just want to be clear about something because the Reverend asked you. You've never had a relationship with a black man?
I would rather die.
Oh, so you're a racist?
No, I'm not a racist because my mother was quite ill, and the
what do you mean you'd rather die?
The best care that was given to her was
by
by black women.
Put some rock and roll, you'd shake your ass, and you know that.
I don't.
Well, let me ask you:
roll.
do you think it's sickening, the idea of interracial sex?
I certainly do.
Oh, okay. I had a black girlfriend once.
Absolutely.
She don't like you, Phil, because she think that's
it's
sickening.
Appalling.
I agree with you.
And I only like.
You agree with this lady?
I totally agree with her. I wouldn't sleep with a white woman on a bet.
I only like opera. I used to sing opera.
I don't think you know one opera record. Name me one opera record.
Well, how about La Tosca? I used to sing. I was in Tosca, and I sang Lucy Darcy from La Tosca. I sang Musetta's Waltz from La Boheme.
Yeah, it's
now,
ripped off
you want
from a black
more?
Man. That's ripped off from a black man.
Oh,
what is La Boheme?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is not.
Bull crap. Beethoven was. You know
tell Luciano Pavarotti that.
You know that
Tell
Beethoven
Luciano Pavarotti that.
Beethoven was a mulatto.
Tell Luciano Pavarotti that.
Is nothing but a curly-headed Sicilian anyway.
Oh,
so he's part nigger too.
I don't want to hear that word. Okay. I don't want.
What, the Pavarotti's part nigger?
I don't want to hear that.
Sick.
Thank you, ma'am.
This man is sick.
I don't want to hear that word. Do you understand, Reverend?
Mozart slept with a black man. Come on. Now, everybody knows this, and nobody wants to come clean. That came from southern Spain, that part of the country that was invaded by the Moors, and everybody know that.
Sioux Falls on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi there.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe you're giving this guy any more time than you have. I am
history,
not
sir,
a racist.
history.
I do not disagree with interracial marriage. I think that that's up to the people that God brings together. And yet this fella here is the biggest racist I've ever met in my heard in my life at all. I think that the guy's making such a big point about all the wonderful things that the black man has brought about.
All the white women stealing all those good ideas about the free
white women who have slept with him. How about if you're a reverend, which is surprising to me considering the profanity that you use over
I didn't use any profanity.
How do you justify the moral integrity of those men or lack thereof?
Okay, well, sir, your call took up so much time that we have to take a break, and he's probably still talking. Hold on. Phil Hendrie Show, our number 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686.
You never do it.
I'm not trying to shut anybody up, Reverend. We're trying to make some sense out of what is a far-fetched premise that the Million Mom March on Sunday is the result of typical white women stealing a black man's idea. Now, let's get back to the three-cycle engine. That was stolen by who?
The three-cycle engine, Sally Onus, was the wife of a machinist mechanic in Cincinnati, Ohio. And she had slept with a man who had been a part of the engineering team that came up with the three-cycle engine, a black man.
And then she went home and...
Excuse me, I'm going to finish the story. She had a relationship with this black man. She went home and slept with her husband, told him about this, was encouraged to go back and sleep with a black man again, see if he had any other good ideas. Now, this is all a part of, a part of history that they don't want you to know about.
So Sally Onus stole the idea of a three-cycle engine and gave it to her white husband.
That is correct.
All right, let me get back to the gentleman in Sioux Falls. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess there's
What is your point, sir?
There's nothing to be said for the fact that the black men that this man holds in such high esteem, either.
Is there a comment in our future here?
Slept with a white woman and
What?
shared this information, and there's nothing to be said for
What is your
that
point?
as far as the moral lack of integrity.
Okay,
sir,
this guy is really terrible. I can't understand a word he's saying, and I don't think he hears us. Miami on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yes, I
Yes.
think that black men and black women have come up with some very good ideas.
That's right.
What I don't understand is why this gentleman believes that those ideas can't be used by others and expanded upon.
Well, why do they got to steal everything from the black man?
Well,
Jazz,
I
rock and
totally
roll,
disagree
everything.
with that, but
Opera.
there was a Million Man March.
Yes.
Why can't it be used by other people for other reasons?
Because that idea belongs to Louis Farrakhan,
So
which
you're
he has
saying
the
that
copyright.
ideas belong to one person or
he
one
has the
group of people and cannot be used by anybody else?
He has
That's
the copyright.
insane.
He has the
If
copyright
that
on
was
it.
the way life was,
No, ma'am, you got to understand, in
the
America,
advances
we have
of
something called
society
copyright
would never
laws.
have occurred.
Well, wait, you're saying that she's violating copyright?
He has the copyright on that. You understand what I'm saying?
Copyright on the words million and man?
No, he has the patent on the Million Man March. Now, that's a federal law they're violating.
Sir,
Louis
I'm
Farrakhan-
a lawyer. You can't have a copyright on that.
Yeah, ma'am, you're not a lawyer, are you?
I am a lawyer, and you're just absolutely...
Well, how is it you're a lawyer? How are you a lawyer?
How am I a lawyer?
why can't
I
she be a
went to
lawyer?
school.
You went to school?
That's correct.
All right. Then you understand about patent law.
I do understand about patent law, and you're...
Well, what do you mean
not
Louis
going to agree.
Farrakhan has the patent on the Million Man March, not the Million Mom March?
Well, that's the loophole. And that excuse my language, that makes me very angry.
Well, what you're saying is that a million people...
What do you mean
can't
he's
get
got the patent
together
on a
and
million-
march?
The Million Man March, he's got the patent on. Now they're going around it by having a Million Mom March. I think that's a ripoff.
Sir, you're just totally wrong.
No, ma'am. Well, my opinion is that they are these white women are just repeating history. They're doing what Jane Daly did when she ripped off the idea for toothpaste. They're
But
doing
what you're saying is that the ideas can't be used. They can't be expanded upon. They have to stand still.
And I think that's a
They
very
can
good
only
point.
be used
Yeah.
one
I mean,
person
as
at one time.
Ernest Hemingway said, there's nothing new under the sun.
Oh, that's a lot of white bullcrap. All I'm saying is, you get an idea, it's your idea. Don't go ripping off Louis Farrakhan. At least check the copyright.
Copyright and patent. You can have a patent on maybe on a Million Man March, but the Million Mom March, no. Floral City on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yes, sir. How you doing? I'm kind of confused about this reverend here. Who's he reverend to?
Okay, so what? You got a comment?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. He's
I'm the Reverend of the Joyful Union Congregation to answer your question.
Excuse me?
I'm the Reverend of the Joyful Union Congregation.
Okay. Anyway, I don't see a problem with the Million Mom March. Maybe a million moms are going to show up, unlike the Million Man March. You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't, sir. 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show here with Reverend Pastor William Rennick from Joyful Union Congregation in Bellflower, talking about the Million Mom March on Sunday. Salt Lake City on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yeah, I have my comment about what the Reverend's saying. I think it's a bunch of bullcrap where he's saying that the white women are stealing the ideas from the black men.
That's exactly right. I can
We
prove
all
it.
live here
I
in
can
this
prove it.
country to take care of each other, and and it's everything that you're saying is bull crap. Yeah, so maybe a black guy invented it. So
Are
then
you
a
in
white
business?
guy or somebody else.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever come up with an
the
idea? Have you ever come up with an idea? I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, like what?
Well, as far as maybe how I'm going to do something or decide to build a shelf in my house or, even helping out in the community.
How do you know that idea didn't come to you from your wife?
Oh, come on now. You saying that, black men's ideas are getting stolen by white women, I think that's bullcrap.
Well, I'm just saying, how do you know that idea came from your wife?
What's that?
Did you get that idea from your wife?
No, I did not. I haven't even been home today, and you're sitting there talking about this crap. We all live in this country together, and who cares who invented it?
I'm
just
saying
as
to
long
you,
as we're all...
I've never slept with a black man.
What's that?
What is that comment?
I'm just asking the man. What, your wife ever get a good idea from a black man?
Maybe some good ideas come from black men. Some good ideas come from black women, come from white women and white guys. We all live in this country together, no matter what race, creed, nation, anything. It shouldn't have a matter.
Thank you for your call. You made a very good point. What are you asking this guy whether any of his good ideas came from a black guy?
I'm just trying to figure out if his wife ever got a good idea from a black man.
Okay. Lake City on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of insanity.
You don't have the right to say that the Million Man March or any idea is a patent of anybody. The Million Man March is effective for black rights, just like the Million Moms right is a right for all women as mothers to march for better rights of children. And for you to be a preacher and sitting here saying that white people get their ideas from the black is totally off the wall.
Oh, come on, man. You know as well as I do that your husband probably one time or another said to you, I'm out of ideas. I need some good ideas. Right?
Well, he may have said that, but I'm a very well-educated
Will he ever say to you, well, why don't you go meet up with some black guy at school, get to know him, and...
What are you talking about, man? That this lady...
What has that got? I work with a lot of black people that are highly educated, and I'm a highly educated white female.
See, he says
that have to do with anything?
You know the name Mary Sweeney?
No.
She stole the idea of rock and roll from a black man.
Well, what does that got to do with anything?
Well, then you know what that's got to do with it. She stole it and gave it to Jerry Lee Lewis. That's what I'm talking about.
This isn't a white or black issue. I mean, the Million Man March is effective for
See, you're not answering the one question.
Rights.
The biggest question of all is, who cares if these women stole the idea so long as they're doing a good thing?
It just bugs me.
Well, why should it bug you? As a preacher, you should be above all this prejudice stuff and be glad that everybody is concerned about the living ethnic regions and everything and wanting to better America as a whole.
I don't know one white woman that hasn't bent over and grabbed their ankles together just get a good idea from a black man.
Well, who cares who cares what idea came from who as long as it's bettering people's lives and the living...
Let me ask a question here. You just said you don't know one white woman that hasn't bent over and grabbed her ankles to get a good idea. Did you just say that?
Yes, sir.
You talking about my wife?
She white?
Yes, she is.
Shoe fits?
So, my wife has been over...
Oh, you know as well as I do, Phil. I know your wife. She's a lovely girl, but she's been out with black men. How the hell do you think she got the idea to go out with you?
What do you mean?
She got it from a black man. That's what I mean when they're stealing it.
Thanks a lot, pal. Thank you very much for that.
I didn't do anything. All I'm trying to say...
All you're doing is insulting me and all these people that are calling up with your idiotic concept here. And as far as having a patent on the Million Man March...
I'm right, ain't I, lady?
No, you are very insulting.
I thought you were agreeing
you're
with me.
supposed to be... I am white, but you know what? You're supposed to be a preacher of God's Word, but you're not preaching God's Word. You must belong to the Satan church.
And that's something else you all stole from a black man, Christianity.
What's coming out of your mouth.
Damn, a black man had to hang from a cross to get you all Christianity.
Okay.
God didn't preach prejudice.
No, he
didn't.
What you're preaching. But he sent his only begotten son to earth to hang from a cross, and that was a black man.
Oh, how do
right.
you know? Was you alive 2,000 years ago?
I'll make you bet.
Oh.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Reverend. Good luck. You going to the Million Mom March?
Matter of fact, I will. What do you mean, am I going to the Million Mom?
Yeah, I figured as much. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Our website is philhendrieshow.com. Pick up the best of the Phil Hendrie Show CD. We've reached $130,000 raising money for my friend's place, a resource center for homeless and runaway youth in Hollywood. I don't know whether I should announce this or not, but I will. Dwight Yoakam, the great Dwight Yoakam, is scheduled to play our casino night for my friend's place next fall. Oh, no, wait a minute. It's not next fall. When's the next, September. And I'm very gratified to know that Dwight got turned on to my friend's place by listening to the Phil Hendrie Show. We're very flattered and honored that Dwight's a fan of the show. But the only thing that I'd like to say about that is, when do I get my glory about all of, in other words, he's playing to my friend's place. Is he going to come in and do a gig for our show? Dwight, you want to, out in the parking lot here, come on in, do an hour? My friend's place going to get all the glory. So, in other words, I raised $130K for these cats, $175K last year. Plus, they got Dwight playing their casino night. And what do I get from all of this? And look at this. Taylor's looking at me and going, man, I had no idea I was going to work for such a chump. What a chump. You telling me that's really happening to you? Isn't that the look on your face, Craig? Or am I speaking out of school? Am I speaking out of school? Am I talking out of... Am I serious? I think I'm totally very, very cool with that whole thing. That is a marvelous, marvelous gesture on the part of Dwight Yoakam and the great people that surround him to benefact my friend's place that way. Don't you? I think it's great. And I'm also very happy to know that he found out about my friend's place by listening to our show. I'm very flattered because he's a terrific artist, an accomplished artist in many ways beyond music. I just, I'm sitting here thinking, well, maybe if he came to my house and had some drinks or something, shot some pool with me. Dwight, yo! All right, speaking of white people stealing ideas from black folks, the only other thing that we would add to that, because it's so rare when black folks steal an idea from a white person, and that is rap. I mean, when it comes to music. When it comes to rap music, I went to a thing at Cal State LA back in 1971, and it was like a poetry reading to jazz. See, rap comes from these poetry readings to jazz, and I saw this, and it was a lot of young artists up there who were doing jazz and poetry, and now they got, what do they call it? Slamming? Slam nights stuff, poetry. But rap... Oh, you mean heroin, okay. Rap comes to us by way of the German band Kraftwerk. With a lot of the rhythms and a lot of the polyrhythms and syncopation from rap comes by way of the techno music from Germany, particularly from Kraftwerk. And how do I know this? Because no less a personage than Africa Bambaataa, who was a hip-hop disc jockey in New York in the early 60s, said so. So raise that flag, white people. If you hate rap, you have only your fine Aryan German cousins to blame for it. Kraftwerk. All right, I've gotten really fat. Wanted to give you an update on that. I now have a permanent blister where my belt buckle is from my pants squeezing so tight into my gut that the skin is beginning to break away. And, God, do I have to do something now. Now, Vash, I'm serious. I really got to do something. I don't want to know about Atkins diet. Remember when I was on that kick? When I was on at night, I was going on about that because my dear friend Neil Rogers, who I haven't spoken to in about 4 years, said to me, that this is a great thing, and he went on it, and he was eating nothing but lobster and meat and steak and pork chops, and I did that. I didn't have a normal bowel movement for weeks on end. So I decided I'd have to get off of that kick, had a salad, flushed myself out pretty good, but I ballooned back out. As a matter of fact, when I went on the Atkins, you guys know, I told you, I put on 2 pounds. I put on at the end of the 1 week of the Atkins diet. So I am blimping out, and it's getting sad. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why don't you stop eating fatso? Well, no, I don't want to. Not only that, hi, Tim. How you doing? Tim Kelly is one of the great executives here at Premier, is staring through the glass at me and wondering, now, exactly how long did we sign him for? Then one of the guys that writes comedy for the Premier Radio Network just walked by us. By the way, hey, Tim, I wanted to ask you a question. There's writers over here that write comedy for our the Premier Network. How come when I walk by their office, there's never any laughter coming out of there?
It's all internal.
Oh, it's internal. I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's all on the internet.
They're laughing on the internet. They're laughing on the internet. So they're laugh out loud. Yeah, okay. As they're exchanging ideas. I walk by that office. I told the guys, I walk by that office. They're very nice guys, Rob and the guys, but they're all at their little terminals. I said, what are they doing there? They write comedy. I said, I've never heard any laughter coming out of there. So I rolled a stink bomb in there this morning, and, you know, it's nothing happened, but that's why Craig's hair turned white. Or did you bleach it again? Forget. Anyway, so what I got to do is I got to get off this weight somehow, some way. I don't know whether it's running, jogging, weightlifting. I asked my friend and mentor, Mike Schaefer, I said, what would you do? He said I'd run. I'd run a mile a day. You fat pig, Mr. Hendrie, sir. I said, okay, so what? But you got to get the time down. He said, run a mile a day, clock yourself, then get the time down another second or two, and keep running and do it like that. And I said, you know what? That sounds terrific. That's exactly why I'm not going to do that. I can't see myself getting out and doing that. You remember the jogging craze of the 70s? You guys remember that? And how much we all despised it because it was so deathly dull? Now, of course, we have the walking thing. It's the same. Walking's not as tough. It's just as boring. But I got to do something because I ain't going to quit eating. So, and then you know what it is? It's when your wife says to you, would you please take the engagement ring that I bought you, honey, down to the jeweler and have those 2 diamonds replaced that popped out of it. Would you please do that this week? And you don't because you're too tired to get out of the car and walk it over to the jewelry store. Yeah, okay. Would you please take? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take it over there, honey. Oh, and then you get the freeway and you pass Balboa and you go, I know I ought to get off at Balboa to go down to the jeweler there and replace the diamonds. Then I can't. You know why? Why? Because I got to get out of the car and go up and I'm too heavy. I'm carrying too much weight. That's how sad it's gotten. So what am I promising? Or I can't get the ring off my fat finger. Thank you for that. Thanks for reminding me of that one, Craig. I can't get the ring off my fat finger or out of my fat nose. And what did we have for dinner last night? Oh, nothing much. Just spicy, hot Louisiana sausages and pasta. Jeez. When's it going to end? And let's not forget ice cream. I got a half gallon of ice cream, and I got a really cool... Huh? Oh, it's not gone. It's still there. But guess what I got? A hot scoop. You push the button on the bottom, and it heats up the thing. I got one of those. As if I need to get to the ice cream that much quicker. You would think that if I buy myself some really good frozen ice cream, it would be very difficult for me to, snow shovel into that stuff and get it out, and I would eat all that much less. But no, Hendrie's got to get into it faster, so I buy a hot scoop. So it heats up the scoop, and you can get that all the more ice cream out of there that much faster, blimp out, but I feel great. That's the only thing. I feel pretty good. Just I can't get into my pants, and neither can anybody else. God. All right. So on Monday, next Monday, let's give it a week. I'll come back complaining about something else. How about that? Because God knows I ain't losing weight. It's Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686.